All praise to the Most High living God of Israel. Happy Sabbath, family. Happy Sabbath. So glad to be before you. Me know this is a recorded video and not a live, but you can still do your commenting, please. Um, Today, the prophetess is coming because this is me. Want to say this to you today. Me have taught you here ever since the prophetess has been teaching. You have been taught lies. Everything you thought you knew, everything you think you know, humble yourself to understand it's all a lie. But the prophetess is correcting a lot of things. She's going to bring information to you that you never heard before because no one knew how to break it down to you of my people, because our enemies taught our men a lie in our word to deceive us. So today we're going to go through a story that if me was to even mention this to a person that doesn't go to church, they would know the story of Daniel. All me would have to say is, oh yeah, Daniel, he was in the lion's den and the lions didn't eat him up, and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. But the prophetess is coming today to tell the story the way it's written in the holy word through the eyes of the Hebrew Israelite, the truth, the sent prophetess. All praise.
All praise.
So we're going to start at verse 1, chapter 1, book of Daniel. In the third year of the reign of Jehoiakim, now I may not say these names right, but y'all know how to do it with names, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem, and besieged it. One thing me wants to stress here so that y'all get a full understanding. The king is always with his priest. The king and his family is always where the priests are. So they were in Jerusalem at this time until they got separated. Of course, y'all know how that goes. But the king's always with his priest. All right. So it was besieged. That means it was taken. So when someone else comes in, they get control. They took control of Judah. All praise. And the priest. So let's go on down here to verse 2. Verse 2 says, and the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand. So mother said, okay, take him. Do what you will. Take him. With part of the vessels of the house of God. So they took the holy things, sacrificed things, sanctified things. They took them, which he carried into the land of Shirna, to the house of his God. And me is going to explain all these things later, but this one right now is me's going to wait on his God. We're going to get to that. And he brought vessels into the treasure house of his God. So his God had a house and his God had a treasure house. All praise.
All praise.
Verse 3. And the king spake unto Aspenza, the master of his eunuchs. Let's get the party started. Somebody get me eunuch.
Eunuch, a castrated man.
Stop right there. Why is a man castrated? So he can't hold on to his ding-a-ling-a-ling. Huh? It's gone.
Gone.
Keep a reading.
A castrated man placed in charge of a harem.
Stop right there.
before you goes any further, somebody get me the definition of a harem. I'm gonna prove to you sons of bitches, your enemy hates you and your enemy has lied to you your entire life. But the prophetess of the most high living God has been sent to the children of Israel and Judah, and you gonna learn the holy word that was written to you with the real understanding.
All praise.
What's a harem?
Harem, a usually secluded house or part of a house allotted to women.
It has to say usually allotted to women because the castrated men have to be there also. They protect the harem from the men with shows on to they ding-a-ling-a-ling. Keep it going.
The wives, concubines, female relatives, and servants occupying a harem.
All right, so now we hear that the eunuchs in this harem took care of all the girlies and the women that belonged to the king. Because the king had to have a lot of women's. He had to have wisdom to be a king. And without a harem and eunuchs to oversee it, the king would be all jacked up. Because his wisdoms would be doing it and everything with everybody. Wisdoms at the time in our day were not fucked if they were a part of a harem. He didn't have sex with his wisdoms. He had sex with his wife. That's why he was given one. But the concubines and the other women and the children and all of them that were kept separate were kept in a harem because these were special women that he used to get understanding, wisdom, and knowledge from. All praise.
All praise.
What else you got?
Informal, a group of women associated with one man. A group of females associated with one male. Used polygamy.
Well, that's the white man's spin on it to teach the dumb black man how to be a fool, which the Bible already calls him one. All praise. It's easy to manipulate a fool.
It said animals, polygamy of animals.
But polygamy of animals, they do that.
Right.
But they want you to think it's for women.
No.
All praise.
All praise.
All right. Now, verse 3. And the king spake unto Aspelal, whoever, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel. Get certain. Let them hear certain. Because certain deals with a surety and confidence and things. Get certain. Just so that we want a clear understanding.
Certain, fixed, settled, of a specific but unspecified character, quantity, or degree.
That's right. Wisdom, understanding, knowledge, sense, girls. All praise.
All praise.
And, listen now, certain of the children of Israel. See, they took the priestesses' children's too. And of the king's seed and of the princes. So the king's children, some of them they took, and their son, the king's son's children, they took. So they had all these girls they had taken from the men. Let's keep on going. Verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in That should shut the party down, rich, y'all. Feel what? Skillful in all wisdom. All praise to the Most High. I'm going to learn y'all something today. So already we know ain't no little boys there. And cunning in knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace. Let me help you a moment, rich here. Out of the womb, when a girl is born, she is already wisdom. And she learns and she is taught by her mother, her wisdom, her grandmother, her wisdom, and she learns as she comes up. And so she gets more and more intelligent as she grows. I'm living proof of that. I had a wonderful mother that taught me well, and a grandmother who taught me very well how to be a decent woman, how to live and be clean and be holy and be righteous. Even though we were brought up in the church, we didn't even do everything that the church told us to do because we had a way of being that was different from the church. We kept ourselves differently. And to stand this day and still say I'm an honorable woman. Love my husband, faithful to the day of I do, all the way 30 years later. Full of wisdom and understanding. Could stand in the king's palace. But we know these are girls. And such as an ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach and learn and the tongue of the Chaldeans. So in other words, they were able to teach the Chaldeans. The king took all of them. I'm going to make my peoples this smart too. Because they knew them Israelites and them Judites was smart people. The proof and the evidence was there. 5. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. So I got to break this down a little bit for you too, because people are confused when they read these words. The king said he wanted these children to be for 3 years to eat his special food, his meat, and drink his wine. That would be for a long period of time, 3 years. But 3 years didn't pass, because somebody's going to step up as soon as they hear what's said and said, we don't want that. So we know now they're the same age. This hasn't been a past thing, and 3 years haven't passed. We're dealing with the present time of when they were captive, and the king told the head of the eunuchs, this is what I want you to do. You got to get all this in your heart so that you can understand. Verse 6. Now among these were of the children of Judah. Here's where it's going to get good. The rib's going to ring her bell starting out. Here's where your enemy had some fun with you, Judah and Israel. Here's where your enemy made the fool out of you. You see, they got all these things they say. The names were changed to protect the innocent. Oh my goodness. Oh, we gonna deal with names today. And listen, the rib don't even mess around with names, because in this word they are too difficult to pronounce. But today she gonna do some names. Oh, praise. Now, of these children we have Danielle, Hananiah, Michelle, and Ezra. Oh, praise! But see, when you change the names, you pronounce them differently. You drop that L on Danielle and it's Daniel. But we knew there was never a Daniel born that was full of wisdom and understanding. We didn't know that till now.
Praise.
Somebody get the name Hananiah. You see, while she's getting that, me gonna talk about the filthy little king that took our children. The filthy little king did like the white man did over here. He didn't call them niggers, huh? Because that ain't our name. He gave them other names. And he gave them 4 little girl boy names. Huh? What an insult to God. I'm going to name them little girls boy names. What say about the Hananiah? Is that what kind of name is that?
It's originating from the Hebrew language. Hananiah is a classic masculine given name.
Masculine given.
It is a mix of 2 Hebrew elements.
Mm-hmm.
Hanan, which means grace or favor.
Grace and favor. Female. Keep going.
And Yah.
And yeah. Female. Keep going.
Which represents the divine and is frequently connected with God.
Oh, praise. So we know that's not a boy.
Thus, Hananiah might be translated as God's grace or Yahweh is gracious.
All praise to the Most High. Now we know some of you dumb folks are already lost, but you smartens understand what we're saying. All praise to the Most High.
Praise.
Let's look up Michelle. What is Michelle?
Michelle is a female name, meaning torch, light, girl.
That's all the paper the end of the paper. You can look it up. Y'all look it up too. I want y'all to look it up. My paper got cut off. Me printed it off. But it's a girl's name. Don't you ever fear. She's a little girl. And Azariah. I know you want to call the little boys. They named the mermaid after Azariah, didn't they? They made a fool out of you fools. All praise.
All praise. Azariah is a masculine name of Hebrew origin. The name Azariah is a girl's name of Hebrew origin, meaning
Didn't I tell you? Go ahead.
Helped by God.
Help. These motherfuckers over here, you better not trust a goddamn word they say. You're sleeping with them, you loving them, you doing all the things you ain't got no business doing with somebody who hates you and have lied to you since you've been on this plop of dirt and they've had control of you. They out to deceive, baby. So we glean. We know what the word says. We know what the dictionary is trying to deceive you with. It's a girl's name. All 4 of these children are girls. All praise. And Danielle, go ahead with Danielle.
Danielle, God has judged, is a popular girl's name, and its origin is Hebrew.
That's right.
God has judged.
God has judged. So what your enemy did was told you that these 4 little girls were men. And it tells you from the beginning as you read, children, 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 children.
Yep.
Through the whole thing, these children. All right. So let's get to verse 7. Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. Nigger 1, nigger 2, nigger 3, and nigger 4 is no different than the stupid names they gave them. Let's see what these names are. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belshazzar. And what was wrong with Daniel? What was wrong with Daniel? But see, before the other people, the king wanted to deceive who these children were. He gave them these names. And to Hananiah of Shadrach. Sound boyish to me, doesn't it? And to Mishael, Meshach. And to Azariah, Abednego. So if you heard those 4 names, you certainly wouldn't think of girl.
That's right.
But if you heard their natural names, it'd be girl all over them. You'd instantly get it. But being asleep and being lied to, we didn't get it. We didn't see it. We trusted our enemy. We went to church. And the fools in church that stand at the pulpit was taught by the fools that deceived them. And they came down and deceived us. But oh boy, the prophetess is here now. And all these lies is going to be cleared up. All praise to the Most High living God. Verse 8. But Daniel purposed in his heart a universal word, male or female, that he would not, he means she in Hebrew, defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. See how smart she was? She said, I don't want that. Why she didn't want it? Because it was blessed at his God's table. And she knew better with all the wisdom that she had not to partake of anything that is blessed of other gods. Like when you pull up at the drive-thrus and they serving you all that shit that's been blessed by their gods. You don't know what you're getting and who's been offered to. In hell, they do all that shit and you have no clue what they're doing because they know what you're not supposed to do. He's just telling you. Where did me stop at? Therefore he requested, did I go, am I right there? Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Let's go to 9. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love. Real, what you done said. And he ain't even got a dang-a-lang-a-lang. Oh, praise. So now we know for a fact, because God don't do no homosexual shit. She forbids it. But what she did do was she allowed this eunuch to fall in love with Danielle, that Danielle may have favor. Oh, ain't my God good? See, when you know how to read the word, you will get a clear understanding. But he had favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king,
who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your face worse likened than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. So, in other words, if y'all don't eat the meat and drink the wine that the king has set, this is special stuff. In the king's heart, he believes, I'm the king. I eat it and I drink it. This is special. You give this to them. But Danielle wanted to prove a point, and she didn't want to eat anything sacrificed to other gods. Verse 11 says, Then said Danielle to whatever his name is, Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over, Danielle, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Woo! We know wasn't no homosexual shit going on back then with them. And that's why the king had a harem and had all his women in it and had the eunuchs, because he was going to make sure wasn't nothing going on. So this eunuch is over these 4 girls. And the king wasn't worried, even though he had fallen in love with Daniel. The king wasn't worried. The king didn't have anything to worry about. The eunuch is over a harem of women, teenage girls and little girls, even baby girls. Verse 12 says, Prove thy servant, I beseech thee, 10 days. Now, let's keep up with the time frame. In the beginning, he said 3 years. Y'all gonna eat this meat and drink this wine. So we ain't even in 10 days yet, because the 10 days haven't even passed. She just said, give me 10 days. So we know a year ain't even passed. We know time hasn't passed, because the king's getting everything set up the way he wants it set up, so that he can get these kids ready for what he wants to do with them. I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat, and water to drink. And pulse is fruits and vegetables, this fresh stuff, natural stuff. Just pick it from the garden and bring it to us. Don't give us none of that meat and all that other stuff the king got. No, don't give us that. We'll drink water. All praise. Some of us, including the rib, need to pulse it up and water it up. All praise. 13. Then let our consonance be looked upon before thee, and the consonance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servant. So, we want you to come back, look on the consonants of our faces, then look at the other children, and you'll see how we look, not eating the king's crap, and eating pulse and water, okay? 14 says, So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. So he gave them their 10 days. They had their 10 days. So we're only in this now. Since the king said what he wanted done, now 10 of those days have passed. And at the end of the 10 days, their consonants appeared fairer. Oh, my lord, if you let the white people tell it, that meant it was whiter. Brighter, lighter, white. No. Fairer was just an appearance of beauty. Has nothing to do with white. If that's the case, it wouldn't be considered fair. And fatter! It could have been a rib then. Fairer and fatter. In flesh then all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. Thus Malzar, or whoever, took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse. 17 says, As for these 4 little girls, these children, God gave them
Now let me explain this to you. Because they want to say that men could have been boys too if God gave it. No. God is the giver of wisdom. She's plenteous of it. She had to give these children this wisdom because they hadn't had enough time to be reared up by their wisdoms for what the king wanted. So God just gave it to them girls. And skill in all learning and wisdom. And Danielle had understanding in all visions and dreams. 18. Now at the end of the days, how many, y'all? 10 days that the king had said he should bring them in. Then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. 19. And the king communed with them. What that mean? He talked with them. He spent time with them. And among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king. Oh my Lord, you had all them dumb kids in there that he done birthed and all his other people done birthed, and they put them in there, and only the 4 children of Judah stood there. You know, that could be how it would be today if we took the children that are with the prophetess and put them with the children that are following other folks, and we asked them questions. The cheerings that's following the prophetess would be the smartest kids in the bunch. All praise. Because they've been learning under the wisdom and guidance of the Most High living God sent prophetess.
All praise.
Woo, the word of the Lord is no lie, y'all. It ain't no joke. Verse 20. And in all matters of wisdom. Now, y'all know, God damn it, y'all know that ain't no boy. All praise. And understanding that the king required of them. He found them 10. God, give me another. Somebody, I got to give me. This hand need a bell. Get me a bell. Get me a bell. Get me 10 times more. Oh, praise the Lord. Come on, ring that bell, brother. Ring that bell. Come on with it now. Even the train say, woo! 10 times smarter. Oh, praise to the Most High living God. Better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all the realm of that king. Come on now. Verse 21. And Daniel continued even unto the first year of King Cyrus. So, we know that it's gone. We know that the time was served, and they didn't eat none of the king's meat, and they didn't drink none of his wine, and they were the smartest ones there. Now we're going to go further into this, but not today, because we don't want to overload you. We know a lot of feelings are hurt because of all of them smart boys that used Daniel's book to prove they were full of wisdom and understanding, and now they know they weren't. But that's what your enemy wanted. See, the whole goal of this captivity through the people that took you captive was to destroy any way they could. And they took the only thing that they had power with was the holy word of God. They took that and they used that against the people that it belonged to. It does not belong to them. All praise. So they taught you lies, they deceived you, and they tricked you. They knew one would come. They knew the Lord was going to send one. And isn't that something? The one the Lord sent is a girl. Full of wisdom and understanding. All praise to the Most High living God of Israel. When the prophetess comes back, it's going to be a minute. She's got a lot of things she's got to do, especially with those that are in the heart of Egypt and those that are with the prophetess, that are still with the prophetess. We're going to be doing some things. We're going to be learning some things. But when the prophetess comes back, the prophetess is going to show you some things. It's going to blow your mind. And all these people you thought was men ain't men. Woo! What a God we serve, y'all. Yes, I'm on top of the world. Yes, I'm on the ears on top of the world. So, me want to just let you know right now that you're going to get a lot. It's going to be a lot when the prophetess comes back, because there's a shift taking place. There's a change going on. Oh boy, them yokes. Oh, the yoke. Ooh!
All praise.
That one thing they been a fearing. They been a fearing when the yoke was going to break. And the yoke about to break.
Praise.
All praise to the Most High Living God of Israel. We love you, family. We hope that you will get into this class, go over it, reread it, learn this story. Know that the Most High Living God has secrets. She only reveals those secrets to her sent prophet, whomever she sends out. We're going to teach y'all about that too, because y'all was taught prophet only means men's, and prophetess means is women's. But me got so much me's gonna share with you. Not today though. Just get yourself prepared. All praise to the Most High Living God of Israel. If Elisha comes before the prophetess comes back, just be ready to go. Love you. All praise. Happy Sabbath. Shalom, family. Mwah, mwah. Me loves you. Me loves you. Me loves you. Shalom. Oh, all praise.